What is going on, everybody? This is the Purple Parlor, episode 25. We are down a man today. Randy's got a little ear infection, but you know me and Rap, we're gonna hold it down as always. And we're gonna talk some Super Bowl. We're gonna talk some Super Bowl halftime show, and obviously we're gonna talk Minnesota Vikings football as well. So just stick around right after this.
I say the same. I say the same. Alright.
What is going on, y'all? It is your boy SK. I am here with my guy Rap. Like I mentioned earlier, we're down realistic. Randy Day is dealing with an ear infection. I don't blame him, honestly. I don't want to talk about these Eagles, man, but it is what it is. We had a big game yesterday, but how'd you take in the Super Bowl last night, Rap? How did it go for you outside of the obvious?
Man, it was surprising, man. Like a surprising Super Bowl, man. Like I thought it would be more of a competitive game. I felt like the Eagles would have a chance, you know. I've been riding on the Eagles the whole season when we were doing our pick sevens and all that, man. I've been riding. I'm like, hey, bro, it's something about they built like that. You feel me? So, but I picked the Chiefs to win it, but it was surprising, man. It was just surprising to see how it all transpired, man. I mean, listen, congratulations to the Eagles, bro. We need to move on from their ass, though. We back to 0-0. Everybody on an even playing field. After this week, it's a wrap. They need to bury that shit. It's time for the
Nobody
Vikings.
even cares anymore.
Nobody cares. Nobody. Bags.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Look, we made our picks 2 weeks ago on our last show with Randy. We all picked the Chiefs, and since then, the closer it got to the game, I kept telling myself I want the Chiefs to win this because I hate the Eagles, man. I think the majority of Vikings fans do, and then a lot of NFL fans in general don't like the Chiefs because whether it be the whole ref thing or the whole Taylor Swift thing or whatever it is. But this was like the lesser of two evils was the Chiefs for me. And I don't really hate the Chiefs, but those Eagles, man, I hate them with a passion. I hate their fan base. But leading up to the game, the closer we got, I was just like, these Eagles are going to win, man. I didn't expect them to win like that. That was crazy. And for Mahomes to play that bad, he had his Sam Darnold hiccup like he had at the end of this season. The problem is that Mahomes will let the ball go. Darnold would just take the sack. But I will say this. As much as I was kind of spicking it into existence with the Chiefs of winning, I still put money on the Eagles and won some money at the end of the day. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll take it. I'll take it. But no, man, just to kind of sink in what this kind of means for the Minnesota Vikings. We talked about this before, and we've been talking about this for a long time as Vikings content creators, man. You got to get better in the trenches, man. And this, if it was any game that represented that, this was the game. The Eagles, every single year throughout the draft, they draft in the trenches in the top 2 or 3 rounds every single year. And it shows. That's why they're contenders every single year. So, I mean, the trenches, man, obviously we got to address that. This was a big, coming to Jesus moment for Minnesota Vikings fans. If you want a Super Bowl, you got to build through the trenches, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Let's go, man. We got some people in the building real quick, man. Let's shout them out real quick. Too Evil was good. Too Evil, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, shout out to Evil. I'm going to see you in March, Too Evil.
My skull broski, man. Norse was good, man. Eduardo, man, what's good with you, man? Shout out Canada in the building, man. Hey, Eduardo, I don't know how to feel, but I'm saying y'all might be part of the U.S. You feel me? I'm just saying it might be it's coming down the pipeline, brother. Hey, but we welcome you guys for sure. Shout out to you, man. Shout out Mr. I Want to Mock in the building too, man. We appreciate everybody, man. Hit the like button. That's a fact, man. Let's go.
Hey, this is Bob Sweet season. We are entering Bob Sweet season, dog.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know we're gonna be seeing your name a whole lot, Bob.
Yeah, this is his time right here. You feel me? He like, man, F the season, man. You know what I mean? Mock season, baby.
Yeah, this is his season right now.
For sure. But yeah, man. I mean, look, we definitely what I noticed is Barber in the building. Where Bob at, man? Shout out Bob in the building, man. Fade you out, man. Let's go. The trenches, man, for sure. All right. The trenches, definitely, man. But like you said, I think my biggest takeaway from watching the Eagles and just seeing how they're built is drafting, man. You know, I kind of had to come back on some of my takes when I think about like I go big in free agency. It is what it is. You got the bag this year, you know, just go spin the bag. But then I look at a team like even the Chiefs, and you look at the history of, you know, the Eagles, what they've been able to put together this past 5 years. I mean, even though they didn't win the first go round, but just being able to make it there and always being in the conversation too, always having a shot, you know, it seems like for the past 5 years or so. They draft well, man. Something that we don't, you know, we really haven't been able to do. If you look at Kwesi's draft, I mean, we're way behind, bro. Like way behind, bro. Like to say that the whole first draft class is pretty much a wash is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit kind of set your franchise back now that I think about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it really does, man. Because these guys got rookies. I mean, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, who's the dude on the line, man? The big dude on the line. I mean, shit, Jordan Davis was
Jordan
playing.
Davis, yeah.
What's the
Jalen
other dude?
Carter.
Jalen Carter. I mean, bruh,
Milt
the list
Williams.
goes on, bruh. Like, it's like everybody they draft is damn near an impact player on their team. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, goddamn. I don't know, man. The Vikings, we got to tighten up, man. We don't have a lot of draft picks this year, unfortunately. So my optimism, I'm not very optimistic about how this draft's going to turn out. But I'll tell you what, you need to get pick 24 right. That's it. That's all I'm gonna ask for.
Sure
Just
do.
get the shit right, bro.
Sure do. And I mean, I think we're all kind of expecting us to trade back a little bit and kind of recoup some picks in the mid rounds of the draft. But it's trenches and draft. And those are the two weakest parts of this Minnesota Vikings organization. And I do not want to hear another person say 3 or 4 names and 2 undrafted free agents say, well, Kwesi got those guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to miss on every guy, but there's got to be times to where, okay, you put together a full draft. Yeah, there was a couple guys that didn't really hit, but overall, okay, you got JJ McCarthy, you got Dallas Turner, which I know Dallas people bring up Dallas Turner and they bring up his interception against Seattle. And when he was in the game, you know, he got after the quarterback. I still have my questions, man. You trade up and you draft a guy at 17. I get Van Ginkel and Grenard were all pros or pro bowlers. But at the end of the day, you draft a guy that high, you want to see him perform. And I don't think he got on the field enough. Now, again, it's kind of a touchy subject when it comes to that because you do have 2 really good players in front of him. But I got to see more out of the 17th overall pick. If you're not going to play the guy, why'd you go out there and draft him?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, at this very same position, you could have drafted Jared Verse.
Oh, that's a fact.
I mean, this goes all the way back to Kwesi's first draft and then trade him back 20 spots
for
with
Lewis
your
Singh.
Divisional rival against
and now he got a ring. Now this motherfucker.
And now you got James. Look, we can talk shit about Jameson Williams all we want. We can talk shit about him all we want.
Yeah,
but where's the guys that we drafted that year that we traded back for? Where are they at?
Yeah.
They're not even on a team anymore. Lewis Singh got a Super Bowl ring. Lewis Singh with a ring. And then you got Andrew Booth, who's buried on the Dallas Cowboys depth chart.
They cut him. Yeah, it's a wrap for him.
Oh, they cut him?
Yeah, they got rid of his bro. Did you see how he was getting cooked, bro?
I did.
He does not need to be in the NFL. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I mean, I hate to say that because at the end of the day, like, I want to see all these guys succeed. I really do. You know what I mean? Like, I really, at the end of the day, just from a human standpoint, like, I mean, we sit here and we criticize because at the end of the day, they're making millions and we're allowed to do that. We ain't shit compared to them when you're talking just the stature of the status they bring, right? So we're allowed to sit back and talk shit, bro. You making millions of dollars to suck, bro? Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, shit, give me a helmet and some pads and I can play like that, bro. Like, but it's just like, man, I just don't see him, bro. Like, I don't even see a team after what he put on tape, bro. I don't even see a team even putting him on the practice squad. You feel me? Like, and then Ed Ingram benched.
Ed
You feel
Ingram.
me?
Yep. So if you're gonna go back and look at the Kwesi drafts, and look, we're both huge JJ McCarthy guys, and obviously that's to be determined because he hasn't even played yet. So we're kind of gonna leave JJ McCarthy out of here. And listen, if JJ McCarthy pans out and he becomes the quarterback that we think he's going to be, this softens the blow a lot for Kwesi because we were never the team that would draft the quarterback's position well, especially under Rick Spielman. Now, the thing with Rick Spielman, though, he would put together drafts where it may not have been in the trenches all the time, but you're going to get a generational player out of Rick Spielman every 2 to 3 drafts. And I mean, that's just real. We can talk shit about Rick Spielman all we want. Rick Spielman brought generational players to this roster. Christian Darrisaw, Justin Jefferson, Harrison Smith. And I know I'm missing a couple guys too. So we really got to sit here and pray. And Kwesi's probably saying the same thing. He's praying that JJ McCarthy turns out to be who we're all expecting JJ McCarthy to be. If he doesn't, and this is why I think this extension is taking so long to kind of happen with Kwesi, because if you can't draft well, if you can't address the trenches, then this team is not going to a Super Bowl in our lifetime.
No, for sure.
Plain and simple. Things got to change. You got to address the trenches, and you got to draft better. Now, credit to Howie Roseman over in Philadelphia. I think somebody brought this up. The first couple draft seasons or couple draft years for Rosie Howman.
Howie.
Howie Roseman. Hate the guy, but I gotta respect him. His first 2 drafts weren't that good, but I don't know what he did, whether he hired a new staff or whether he just kind of learned from his mistakes. He became, I would say, the best drafter in the entire league. And you look at it from top to bottom, and these aren't draft picks that are all top 10 picks either. These are guys in the 20s, late 20s, because they're making runs at the Super Bowl. The only guys that were top 10 picks for the Philadelphia Eagles were, I think, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. I think those were only top 10 picks that they had. Everybody else, Devontae Smith was outside of the top 10. They had to trade up for Devontae Smith in front of the Giants to grab him. You got Quinyon Mitchell last year, who was a late first-round pick. Cooper DeJean, which was a second-round pick. Like, these are all guys that made huge impacts just in the Super Bowl last night. So if we want any chance to even sniff a Super Bowl, to appear in a Super Bowl, you got to draft better and you got to address the trenches. And it's frustrating, man. Yeah. So that's on Kwesi, dog. That's on Kwesi.
mean, look, man, shout out to everybody that popped in, man. Maddie, man. Gary, I see you. Blunt was good. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Anthony was good. Adrian, I see you in the building, man. Appreciate all y'all. Vaughn. I mean, look, man, Kwesi. Listen, man, I stick up for Kwesi a lot too, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Kwesi guy. I think it's safe to say that. I mean, I think anybody that's like listened to me talk and, I think they would say, yeah, Rap's a Kwesi guy, bro. He gonna ride for Kwesi. He like what he see. But I'm gonna tell you, man, after watching that game last night, bro, like, I don't know what it did to me, man, but it's making me like apply a little bit of pressure. I'm gonna keep it honest with you because I'm starting to see that last night made me go back in the time. It made me go back and say, well, damn, who won in 2023, 2022, 21, 20? The only team that really there's 2 teams that stick out to me that there is another formula. And I think that would be the Patriots, but you got to also, I mean, not the Patriots, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020, right? I think that was 2020. Yeah. But they had Tom Brady. So that's kind of like, it's kind of one of those things where like, they got Brady, bro. Like, I mean, can you really kind of compare, even though he was at the end, he balled out that year too, though. Like he still was playing like Tom Brady. And then you got the Rams in 19, right? And what I mean by that is those were two franchises that kind of just said, fuck it, we going all in this year right now. You know what I mean? Like right now, we going all in free agency. We getting the best players we can get, and we're gonna try to make a run. And they did that, and it was successful. But I think if you go back to the history just of that, like that, those are outliers, even though it did happen back to back, which made it seem like it could be a trend. I think the reality is if you really want to be, because I'm okay with not going this year. I'm okay with even not going next year. If you want me to be honest, we don't waited this damn long. I want to make sure when we do go that we continue to compete year in, like the Chiefs, like the Eagles have been doing. Like once we have that stability, and a big part of that's going to be trusting our quarterback. All right. At the end of the day, look, JJ McCarthy still has to prove to all of us fans that he can play this game at the level that we're excited about to watch on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays. He has to do that. You know, even though me and SK, like he stated, we're fans of him, but he still has to show us that. Can you build a team around him? Because I did a video earlier and I was talking about the Eagles. What I respect about how they have been on this journey to the Super Bowl is they could have easily, after that down year of Jalen Hurts, the year after they lost the Super Bowl, that following year, Jalen Hurts didn't look all that. They could have easily said, you know what? Fuck this dude. We're not giving him the contract. Fuck this dude. We're moving on. You know what I mean? We need to. They stuck with the plan. And for that, I respect it. And that's what I hope the Vikings do with JJ McCarthy. If you see something there, you know what I mean? Stick with it. Build the team around this kid, man. Let's start building a foundation. We have a guy that we can really call ours, you know, and I look forward to seeing him. Man. I think McCarthy's the guy, though. I think we have our quarterback, bro. I truly feel like that.
But I mean, here's the difference. When Jalen Hurts did have that rough year, and then people were kind of scratching their heads like, you gave this dude an extension. I don't know if it was time. It felt a little early. But outside of them giving him an extension, they continued to build the trenches like that. That's look, you can be a Jalen Hurts fan, you can be a hater. I feel like I'm a little bit in between. But Jalen Hurts isn't this great elite quarterback, and you can kill me for it if you want to. No, but he's not this great elite quarterback. He's not on the Mahomes levels. He's not on the Josh Allen's level. He's not on that level. I feel like he's a tier down. So that doesn't necessarily mean your team can't win a Super Bowl. And the Eagles understood that. They said they got the right leader in house. And outside of what we haven't seen on the football field with JJ McCarthy, he is a 10 out of 10 in everything else when it comes to off the field, whether it be the community work he does, whether it be the leadership. Me and Rap know firsthand, we're Michigan guys. We saw this guy lead the Michigan football program to a national championship. So he has the leadership qualities. He has the mental. He does everything right off the field. We just got to see him apply that to on the field. And I think this is, what the Minnesota Vikings are thinking and how they're going about things. And we're crossing our fingers and hoping that's what they're doing. But I think they know that. And I think they do understand that we need to get better in the trenches. I even think KOC mentioned it at his end of the year press conference where he's like, yeah, we got to address the guard positions. It's not just the guard positions, though. It's the interior defensive line. We have the pass rushers. We have a rotation of pass rushers. I wouldn't mind if we go out there and grab another pass rusher. But it's the interior of both the offense and defensive line. And we can go all the way back. And I wasn't alive. You weren't alive, Rap. There may have been some Vikings fans in here that were alive at the time. But when Minnesota was going to the Super Bowl consistently in the 70s, Fran Tarkenton and, Carl Eller and Alan Page and Jim Marshall and all those guys. Guess what? We probably had the best set of offense and defensive line in the league at that time. Now, I may be wrong because I don't remember every team in the 70s and how good their offense and defensive line were. But the reason why we're consistently getting to the Super Bowl is because we had guys in the trenches at that time. We had Hall of Famers in the trenches at that time on both sides of the ball. Yeah. So you have a Yeri, you have a Tingelhoff, you have obviously the guys that I listed along the defensive line. This goes back to the very beginning of football when football had just started. It's always been about the trenches.
It has.
It's always been about the trenches. Yes, France
Yep.
Harkington was great.
Yeah.
Joe Cap was great.
Yeah.
But it was the trenches. And I feel like that's what we've kind of just been letting
Purple people eaters.
yeah, purple people eaters, our guys. So I felt like it's just kind of been brushed under the rug for the past 20, 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
Now I know we addressed it here and there, and we had really good tackles in the past. And Randall McDaniel was probably our last great guard. But it's the trenches, man. If you want to have any chance at winning a Super Bowl or even making it to a Super Bowl, you have to get better in the trenches. Plain and simple. There's no doubt about it. And it goes back to the very beginning of story of football.
Yeah.
Get good in the trenches. You have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl.
And that's a fact. I agree 100%. I think as a fan base, the Vikings fan base, you know, like we have to understand this too, though, like is to get to where we want to be. And obviously that's a Super Bowl and winning the shit, right? There is no other. That's it. It's straightforward. It's straight cut. That's where we want to be. Yep. That's what we want to do. I think like as a fan base, we got to have patience. I don't think you fixing this shit in 1 year. No. Like I'm going to keep it real. As I sit back now and I look at it, you can go get Trey Smith. I don't give a fuck. You drop the name. It don't matter. Yeah. I just don't think you're going to fix it in 1 year. See, I think what I'm pushing for now is just consistency of actually having a team, having them play together. If I'm not mistaken, man, I feel like the past, I don't know, I'll just say since Kwesi and them have taken over the team, it seems like a revolving door around this motherfucker. Like we have new guys coming in every year that are just trying shit out. We trying shit out and this, that, and the third, to where it's like, I'm kind of like, I'm low key sick of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm the type where I'm like, hey, get all the best players, right? You got money and free agency, go get the motherfuckers. But part of me now is kind of coming up off that horse, bro. And I'm like, listen, I'm willing to sacrifice 3 years to build a sustainable team that can do this shit over and over again. Like really build the dynasty, like fight for that. Don't just fight to make it to 1 Super Bowl. Let's fight to make it to 3, 4, 5 in the next 10 years or the next 7 years, whatever. Consistency, man. Like, let's really build a foundation. You have the young quarterback. Jerry is out. We got to see. But then all the other positions you need to treat the same. You know what I mean? Yep. Drop the trench babies in the chat, man. Who y'all want in the trenches? I seen the Nolan guy, man. I'm low key. Like, I love Kobe Bryant, cornerback out of Kansas. I don't think we can afford it, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm all in on the trenches. I don't think we can afford it. I don't think you can. I don't think Kwesi got the nuts to sit here and go and draft a corner or a running back or a safety. Bro, your job should be on the line. And I love Kwesi. But I feel like if you don't get one of the best defensive tackles or the guy from North Dakota, you know, what's his name? Zell, whatever.
Is that the center?
Yeah, the center and guard combo. Like, if you don't get one of those two, bruh, like straight up, dog, like your job should be considered. I'm gonna keep it real. And I love Kwesi, bro. And I'm gonna cry when he walk out the door, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna get over it because I think it's time to really be super intentional. I always looked at Kwesi and them as intentional type guys, Kwesi and KOC. I always looked at them as, hey, they're critical thinkers. When they do make a move, I feel like they think it all the way through. And I like that about them. I love critical thinkers. But right now I'm starting to look like, well, hold up a minute though, bro. Like, is it the staff? Is it the scouts y'all are sending to these colleges to watch these players? Like, who's giving you the data on these motherfuckers? Because these players ain't panning out, bro. They really not. You had 3 drafts, bro. You know how many players that is?
Yep.
To say only 1, bruh.
Like, yeah, I mean, let's name them.
Jordan Addison is the only one.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't like when people try to look. I love Mekhi Blackman. Think he's gonna be a really good player. But he hasn't given me enough for us to really, well, we got Mekhi Blackman, though. I don't want to hear about Ivan Pace. Ivan Pace is not necessarily a product of Kwesi saying, oh, you know what? We're going to wait for Pace to drop all the way out of the draft.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get him. No, it happens at the
that
end
was
of the
luck.
draft.
Lucky.
Yes. When it gets to the 7th round and you're looking towards the end of the draft, that's when you start thinking about guys like, okay, this guy might be available after the draft.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's not Kwesi. It's not the GM. It's his scouts. It's his guys, his draft personnel that are telling him, hey, this guy is going to be available, an undrafted free agent. Let's go grab him. But I hate when people say, oh, well, he got Ivan Pace, though. I'll be real. Ivan Pace is going to be sharing starting reps with probably another linebacker if we go out there and either draft a guy or we get a guy in free agency. I love him against the run. Ivan Pace is great against the run. Against the pass, and Rap will probably tell you, but that's Ivan Pace. Yeah. That's your boy. He struggles.
I'm the Ivan Pace ambassador. You hear me?
Yeah.
Pace
but he struggles against the pass. So let's not sit here and say like Ivan Pace is freaking Luke Kuechly and we got him as an undrafted free agent or anything. Like, let's stop it. It's been Jordan Addison and a cloud of smoke, if we're being real. And Jordan Addison was an obvious pick. Everybody knew. We needed a number 2 wide receiver to go along with Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen was gone. We needed to bring somebody else. And that was an easy pick. Anybody would have made that pick.
Yeah, I was about to say, me and Purple Papa were talking about this earlier with Kwesi because we were going through the same situation. And think about this. Wide receiver is probably the easiest pick to get right. Like when you got these guys coming into the draft, you're like, bro, you know how easy it is to evaluate. Bro, there's so much talent. You're like, yeah, this motherfucker here be all right. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you got the quarterback in place and shit. And listen, man, fuck that. I can pick a wide receiver and he turned out to be generational. You hear me? I'd have named a couple that we could have got in the 3rd round that's balling right now in real life that I wanted the Vikings to get. But the truth of the matter is, can you pick a defensive tackle? You feel me? Can you pick a safety? Because we saw you done failed on that. Can you pick a guard? Because you failed on that too. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it honest. Like, and quarterback, the main thing we gonna see. I think you did good on that, but we gonna see. Jury out.
No, we agree there. But again, like you said, the jury's out on that. But there's a reason why Kwesi doesn't have an extension yet, and KOC does. And we have our question marks about KOC, and I think it's mainly just 1 or 2 things, and they're big things, is can you call a great game in the big games? I think that's where he struggles the most. But again, just like JJ McCarthy, everything else is a 10 out of 10. Leadership, the way he gets his players to play for him, like everything else is 10 out of 10, 100%. You're doing great. But there's those couple little things where it's like, and the same with Kwesi. I think the collaboration between him and KOC and the team, everybody loves Kwesi. He seems like an amazing guy. But there's 2 glaring weaknesses with Kwesi. He's great in free agency, as we saw this past offseason. But the 2 major things is you can't draft for shit, at least in the first couple seasons, and you're not addressing the trenches. The same issue we had with Rick Spielman. You're just kind of running guys out there. So things, if we're doing things right, things are going to get a little boring during draft season the next couple years.
I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll be fun. And you know what? If you're a Vikings fan and you sit back and we go draft the kid from North Dakota State, or we draft the kid from Ole Miss, and you say it's boring, bro, you ain't no real Vikings fan out here, dog. I'm going to just call you out on it because we done been through this shit for so long to where, bro, we got the Justin Jefferson, we got all the flashy shit that people would call flashy. It's time to really like get to the business now, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to really do what we're supposed to do, man. Get the big boys, man. We need it. You feel me? We need it. We've had enough fun, man. It's time to get the business now. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with re-signing Aaron Jones for around $5 to $6 million for a couple years. Because he had his best year. He had his best statistical year this year. Regardless, and I was one of the main ones where I was like, yo, this motherfucker Aaron Jones is killing me. Like, there was moments where it had you scratching your head, like, what's going on? But he had his best statistical year this season with the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm all the way cool with going out there and re-signing Aaron
I'm
Jones.
mixed on it. Me and you are a little different on that. But
I wouldn't be opposed to taking a different route, getting a younger back, drafting a back. But I feel like we have so much other needs that are more important than going out there and grabbing another running back.
Yeah. Let me ask you
Aaron
a question.
Jones.
Let me ask you a question, SK, because this is something that you like to consider a lot when we mock and shit too, man. Shout out Mr. I want to mock in the building too. It's perfect. Right?
Perfect.
Shout out Dayon, man. What's up, my G, man, in the building, man. Zen, I see you, man. But this is the thing, like, so this is my thinking, right? Going into April with this draft. I know we don't have many picks. I get that. But I say you stick at 24 and you get the guy that's available, the best guy available. Don't like, I don't know if I'm with the getting cute shit. And a lot of it is based off of what this conversation we've been having, right? We've went through this already where there's a player that could possibly be a generational talent. I know we got to keep going down this dark road, but we got to do it. All right. Hey, Kyle Hamilton is there, but you want to get cute, right? You want to get cute instead of getting the player that can really impact your team, bro, that can really make a difference, because it only takes one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the truth of the matter. If you get an impact player, bro, you notice it right off the rip. You don't have to wait. Like, he comes in right away and changes the dynamic of your team. And I think with 24, I know a lot of fans, and it's not just USK, a lot of fans, I've been seeing it. You want to trade back and accumulate these picks. Okay, cool. But like, accumulating picks for what? For Kwesi to get cute and draft, Joe Smo from fucking wherever and try to act like
Caleb Evans.
You know what I mean? And try to act like he's a fit and all this bullshit. And then 2 years from now, Kwesi's out the door. We're getting rid. We're cutting all these random motherfuckers that we traded back to get. I say it. Listen, there's a couple players that if they're on the board at 24, you have to pull the trigger, bro. Like, you have to pull the trigger, bro. There is the capital doesn't matter, man. Get the player that can change your franchise, man, for the better. That's just my thinking. But how do you feel about it?
No, I would like to trade back at the end of the first round or get up to the beginning of the second round and get some picks, but that's not I'm not sold on that completely. It all depends who's sitting there at 24. Like you said, if there's a generational player, a guy that you feel is a generational player, or a guy that has a position of need for us, i.e. defensive tackle or interior offensive line, you got to take them. You can't risk it trading back a couple spots and losing a guy like that. And I think you're referring to, when you say Hampton, is that the dude from Florida, the humongous defensive tackle?
No. Kyle Hamilton that's on the Ravens from Notre Dame.
Okay.
The first draft. Yeah, the dark road we got to travel as Vikings fans that we'll never forget.
Try to burn that out of my brain.
Imagine him being on a team right now, bro. Do you know how much difference he would make right now?
Yeah.
Bro, seriously, bro. I'm talking everything too. I'm talking pass rush. He would make a difference. Blitzing, because he's a savage. Interceptions, tackling, everything. Like, that one player, bro. That one player. And this year you better do it.
And he was the generational talent. And like, if we want to go back and rehash that for 2 minutes, I was pissed because it was a perfect handoff for Harrison Smith. If we drafted Kyle Hamilton, I promise you, Harrison Smith probably would have retired last year. This would be his last year, 100%, because it was a perfect handoff from one Notre Dame guy to the next. It was kind of just a seamless thing. He does a lot of the same things Harrison Smith does. But I mean, I love Cam Bynum. I love Josh Metellus. I'm not going to sit here and complain about the safety room, but you're absolutely right. If you have a generational player there, which it wasn't a surprise with Kyle Hamilton. Like, everybody knew the dude was a baller. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God,
the Ravens whole world knew, bro.
The Ravens just found this random safety and he ended up being great. No, coming out of the draft, everybody loved Kyle Hamilton, and that was an easy pick for Kwesi.
And you went safety anyways.
And the guy's not even on the roster anymore. And now he's a Super Bowl champion.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That's what, out of the whole set, you just take everything out of the equation. I think what pisses me off the most about that whole situation is that you went safety anyways. You went safety anyways, brother.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I could see if you traded back, missed on Kyle Hamilton, and you went running back or guard or defense attack. You went safety, bro.
And on top of that, the other pick that you got back from the Lions, you went cornerback and you went Andrew Booth, which again at the time I liked the pick. I said, you know what, Andrew Booth, I think he's gonna be a good player. Just the injury history worried me with him.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't just the injury history. He wasn't ready for this NFL
Booth. I didn't like Booth from the moment we drafted him. I'm like, oh, this is such a horrible fucking pick. Oh my God. Because I live in South Carolina. I see Clemson play all the time. This motherfucker had one highlight that made the top 10 Sports Center, and that is why he got drafted too high. He should have never been no second round pick, bro. Like never. He was not supposed to be no second round pick. This man had one-handed interception, and the whole world said, "Oh, look at that athleticism. Look at the potential. Imagine what you can get out of that potential." Man, bullshit. Start scouting these players for what they do consistently, man. You know what I mean? Like really dogging out here day in and day out. That's why I was so high on Pace, because when you went and watched Pace, it was like, bro, every game, bro, he's leading his team in tackles, he's getting sacks, he's forcing fumbles, he's doing doing everything. So, like, yes, I want a player like that, man. But I mean, I don't know, man. I'm starting to get pissed off at Kwesi, bro, low key.
I'm saying there's a reason why he hasn't gotten an extension yet. He's got to prove himself in the draft, plain and simple. This is a very important draft for Kwesi, and he has very little to work with when it comes to draft compensation. So something's got to give here. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade a legitimate starting player for some draft picks. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Who you thinking? I'm gonna tell you who I'm down to trade, bruh. And I want the chat to react. And y'all, listen, how about this, chat? Let's play a game. Drop one player right now that can hold some weight in the chat that you would be willing to trade for some draft capital right now. Let me see it in the chat. Let me see if y'all feeling like RAP. I feel like y'all know who I'm going for.
I'm gonna try and guess the guy you're thinking of. Are you thinking offense or defensive side of the ball?
Offense.
You said defense?
Offense.
Oh, you said offense. I would say you'd probably say either Jordan Addison or TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, TJ Hawkinson for sure. Like I see Bradbury, but you ain't getting shit for Bradbury. Like that's not trading. You might get a 7th round pick for that motherfucker, man. You ain't getting shit for Bradbury. Yeah.
But what are you getting for TJ Hawkinson?
I mean, TJ, you could probably still get, I would say he still can push like a 4, maybe. You know what I mean? You could probably get a 4.
Yeah.
I would say a 4. You could probably squeeze a 4 out there. I mean, depending on what team too, they might still think he holds more value. You might can get a late 3rd in there too. You know, I mean, what we get from him? We paid a 3rd, right? Or we did a second. Second. So you might be able to sneak a late 3rd out there too now, depending on
Lions, by the way. To another divisional rival, by the way, Kwesi. Now, we like TJ. This is not us not liking TJ.
Nah.
TJ was great when we initially traded for him. Obviously, he ended up getting hurt. I feel like he was still trying to get his feet wet coming back from that injury. Yeah. Now, hopefully, if he's still on the roster, 2025, we see the TJ Hawkinson of old. But we don't know yet. And I would much rather have the tight end as the position of need than interior offensive line or interior defensive line.
Look, I don't want I think Hawkinson is the replaceable guy in this whole equation that you can still kind of recoup some capital off of. You feel me? Because my thing is this, man. I gotta call the shit for what it is. I think the offense was running better when we had Johnny Munt and Josh Oliver, bro, playing. I'm just keeping it real. I think there was more dynamic to the offense, bro.
The run game was better too.
The run game was better. It made even KOC get a little more creative with play calling. I just think the effect it had on the offense as a whole just was, because once Hawk got in, it was like, all right, we got our safety blanket now. Now let's just start getting back to this old, vanilla ass play calling sometimes. And it's just vanilla ass, just throw it the hawk, if nothing else. And it's like,
Yeah.
bro, the brick hand started coming out again towards the end of the season, something that I disliked in TJ Hawkinson. Like, yes, he makes good catches, and then he'll do two bullshit ass like brick hands. So it's like, bro, I need consistency. Shit, as far as I'm concerned, Johnny Munt don't drop. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. I've been dogging Johnny Munt, but on that play action, Johnny Munt catching that. I'm gonna tell you right now, he catching that, bro. Like,
and you can also go out there and you can grab a legit tight end for fractions on the dollar of what you're paying TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, no.
So I wouldn't be mad at that. It would just depend on what are we getting back in return. A fourth is kind of I don't know. Like, is it worth it for a 4th round pick? Like, I think it would be worth it more to get that cap space off of our books than it would be for the 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Like, so I would take a third. I would definitely take a third. But again, more than likely, we wouldn't be getting a third because he didn't look as good as he did, in seasons prior coming off that injury. And he's what, 31?
Yeah, he's getting older. But I think they may be able to sell it as, hey, look, he only played half a season. He's still kind of, you could kind of see a little brightness there. You feel me? Like, he still kind of got the little bit of hawk in him. I think a team, us as Vikings fans, we know the truth, right? We trying to finesse some shit right now. So you got to be able to have that mouthpiece on you, bro. You got to know how to sell that motherfucker. But I think it can be done because his name does still carry weight. But I also say that too. If you remember, like, in the drafts, right? Like, every 5 years, there's always these position groups that are just plentiful, and they're starting to come out, and they're just they can just come in right away and do good. Well, tight end is in that category now, right? That's why you're seeing all these tight ends coming out of no fucking where making names for themselves, bro, because now, like how back in the day, I agreed where you can get a running back. There was a point in time where you can get a running back in the 5th, 6th round, and they turn into, a legit Pro Bowler and carry your team, right? Well, I think tight ends like that now. And this draft in particular, I mean, this shit got a lot of tight ends in it, bro. If you really dig into this draft, bro, there's some tight ends, bro, that's going to drop in the 4th, 3rd. Like, you can snatch up real quick that will go in there. And I can promise you, bro, that the shit you're getting from TJ Hawkinson, the productivity you're getting from TJ Hawkinson, if you draft a rookie that's really out here been balling, bro, you're not gonna see no drop off like that. Trust me, you will not miss it, bro.
And a guy that I think would be perfect for this team, if we do decide to, I mean, even if we don't move off of TJ Hawkinson and we just kind of want to bolster that tight end room for the future, Cortland Loveland out of Michigan.
I love
that. JJ McCarthy's guy. Look, we may be sound like Michigan biased, Michigan riders over here, and we are, but Cortland Loveland is a legit star at the tight end position.
That's a fact.
He already has a relationship with JJ McCarthy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we find a way to make that happen. And JJ McCarthy loves throwing to his tight end.
I could see us drafting him regardless. I could see us drafting him even if we keep TJ this year, to be honest with you.
I think he's going to end up being a late 2nd, 3rd round pick.
He's either going to come to us or go to the Chargers because Harbaugh going to get him if anybody.
Yeah. So there's guys out there that you can draft, and he may not. It depends on what we're judging it off of. Are we judging it off the TJ Hawkinson that we saw for, what was it, like 9 weeks this year? Or are we judging it off the TJ Hawkinson that we saw pre-injury? Now, if we're talking about the TJ Hawkinson that we saw pre-injury, there's not a lot of tight ends that can replace that type of production. But if we're talking about the TJ Hawkinson this season after the injury, absolutely. I don't know what his cap hit is this season, but I know it's high. So,
like, can I say something about TJ though, man? Like, I guess I might be on an island by myself, but ever since we got him, bro, like, listen, I look at other tight ends around the league, and I'm telling you, bro, like, TJ not him, bro. Like, he really not, man. Like, let me ask you something. Can you list can you list your top 5? If you were to list your top 5 tight ends right now in the league right now today, and you can even go back to TJ Hawkinson in his prime, bruh, whatever year that may be, because I don't even know. Do you think he's a top 5 tight end in this league?
If we're going back to pre-injury, TJ Hawkinson,
you can even go back to pre-injury.
I have to put him top 5. Compared to the tight ends right now, because I'll tell you right now, Kelsey's not in my top 5.
Bro, Kelsey is a top 5. He might not be in your top 5, but he's a top 5 tight end though.
We're talking about this season tight ends compared to.
I'm just saying we can go back 5 years and including this season if you were to name like players that are still playing.
Obviously Kelsey would be in there. He'd probably be number 1 or
Kelsey.
Number 2.
What's the boy from San Francisco? George Kittle.
You'd have because he's great blocking.
The rookie Brock Bowers is way better than TJ Hawkinson. Laporta is way better than TJ Hawkinson. That's a fact. Laporta is way better, bruh. Trey McBride is better. What?
I can't say that.
The list goes on, bro.
I can't like. I think you may be forgetting a little bit how good TJ was pre-injury. He's really fucking good pre-injury.
Was he?
Yes. Yes, he was. He was. Come on now.
I'm gonna tell you what I remember. The Giants game. That's the game I remember from TJ Hawkinson. Out of these 3 seasons we had him, 2 touchdowns. 2-touchdown game. That's the game I remember, bro. That's the game I remember.
Come on, man. Do I need to pull up the numbers?
Pull it up. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, bro. Like, I think, and I could be on an island by myself. That's cool. But like, TJ Hawkinson just don't move me like that, bro. And I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like him. But I just feel like you can do better. Like, I'm going to keep it honest with you. I just feel like you could do better. I think that's a position that you could definitely upgrade in. And I don't think it's going to take. It's not going to take a lot. Like even drafting one. I think these young tight ends coming into the league now, they're balling, bro. Yeah. But what's his stats? Pull it up. What do you do?
If we're just going off since he got to Minnesota, and I mean we can add the Detroit year if we want, but we're not. We're just going to talk about since he was a Viking and excluding this year because it was post-injury. We're talking about pre-injury TJ Hawkinson. No. So 2022, which was half the season because he was traded at the deadline to the Vikings, 60 receptions, 519 yards, and 3 touchdowns. It's in half a season. Now you get a full healthy season with TJ Hawkinson in 2023, 95 receptions, 960 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's like absurd for a tight end.
What?
And we can talk about Kelsey all we want because obviously he was on a different planet when he was in his prime. But tight ends don't just put up those numbers. Like, that's not just like a guy's not just going to walk in and start throwing up those numbers.
Hold up, man. I'm finna hold on real quick. And you know what's crazy is this. I mean, this might be crazy because I ain't gonna lie. Your boy Brock Bowers is definitely on a different level. But let's just see what he did as a rookie.
So Brock Bowers as a rookie. He went over
1,200 yards, 1194.
Yeah.
With 5 touchdowns as a rookie.
Yeah. He was also, a top 10 pick, top 11 pick?
Yeah, I think he was he was.
So we're not getting in the top 10. We're not getting top 11.
You're right. Hold on. Let me just do one more. Let me just see what.
Credit Brock Bowers, especially with the quarterback play he had.
I know. Imagine that motherfucker get a quarterback.
He was also the only threat and option out there. I mean, Devontae Adams, but you can
George Kittle, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. See, like when I hear like 3 touchdowns and I hear all that, I'm like, bro, that ain't production. Johnny Munt got 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Also, those teams don't got a Justin Jefferson that they're feeding the ball to all game.
So my thing is this: if that is the case, why pay him that much?
You're 100% right. You're 100% right with that. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Something's got to change.
All right, we can move off of T. I feel like I'm like stomping the kid for no reason. Like I feel like I'm.
No, we love TJ. We got love for TJ. I do love sure.
I do love him. I just think he can be better for somebody else.
But at the end of the day, we want a fucking Super Bowl. I'm not here to make friends and be buddy with every player and I love you this, I love you. No, I want a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So if meaning cutting Harrison Smith means you're gonna make it to the Super Bowl, I love you, Harry. One of my favorite players of all time. But you got to go because I want a Super Bowl. So
you can't
at the end of the day, that's the ultimate prize.
You can't cut Harry. You gotta let Harry walk out gracefully. You know what I mean? Like you can't cut. That's nasty work. You can't cut Harry.
Real shit right here, and we can ask the whole chat too, and you guys can put your answer. If I don't believe in football gods, especially after what we just seen with the Philadelphia Eagles and the worst fan base in all of sports getting rewarded with a Super Bowl, I don't believe in the football gods. Right. But if there was a such thing as the football gods and they came to you, Rap, and they said, look, it's not looking good for y'all, but if you guys want to make it to the Super Bowl and win one, you guys are going to have to trade Justin Jefferson. What you doing?
Oh, yeah.
If it guarantees you a Super Bowl.
Bro, if anything other than some, like, don't think too far out the box chat, but like,
if it's just strictly football shit.
Yeah, if it's strictly, I'm taking whatever you bring to the table. I don't give a fuck. Everybody for sale. You feel me? Like, of course, as a fan base, man, we need that. You know what I'm saying? We need that Super Bowl. I mean, people were on the trade Justin Jefferson train last year for a little bit. Remember that?
Yeah, they're idiots for that. But again, there is no football gods. There is nobody coming and presenting this trade to Kwesi and the Vikings. Say, hey, if you do this, we promise you a Super Bowl. No. Yeah. And like I said, I had slight belief in football gods for a little bit.
Yeah.
But when a terrible fan base like the Philadelphia, and I'm shitting on the fan base. Fuck the Eagles. I'm a hater. I don't give a damn. I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm a proud Philadelphia Eagles hater. That doesn't mean I don't respect the shit out of their GM and their players. I just think they have the worst fan base in sports. Yeah. If they can get rewarded with a Super Bowl, there is no football gods. There isn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, moral of the story, fuck the Eagles. All right.
Yeah, no, facts.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. But hey, we it's definitely fuck them. But at the end of the day, like,
there's a little jealousy there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and I think specifically the NFC, all teams can take notes from it. Shout out our boy TP in the building, man. Representing the Giants in the building tonight.
Hey, man, this is y'all fault. This is your fucking fault, TP.
Yeah, it's kind of your fault, TP, man. Y'all push Saquon out the door, man. I seen all the videos and y'all wanting, why pay him that motherfucker, And I'm gonna tell you, man, that shit hurt, man. Y'all done fucked the whole NFC up, man. Now we got to go back to the drawing board. You feel me? The Giants done fucked the whole NFC up. But what I will say is, hey, every team can take notes from that game, bro. Like, every team can take notes and realize the winning formula. And a lot of it has to do the glaring things we talked about earlier. You have to draft correctly, man. You know what I mean? Like, you have to hit on the draft, bro. I'm holding the standard this year higher than I've ever held it when it comes to, I don't give a fuck if it's just one pick, particularly the 24th pick. Like, I'm finna judge Kwesi's whole time being the GM off of this one damn pick this year, bruh. In a couple months, bro, I'm on him, bruh. I'm gonna be watching this shit so close. I'm gonna be glued to that fucking TV because he better do the right thing, bro. I'm on the train.
Or it's his job. I feel like we got the coach. I feel like we got the quarterback. We got the culture. We got all of that. Yeah. But I have major, major questions at the GM position.
Yeah.
Major questions. But nonetheless, let's take it back to, let's have a little fun. Let's take it back to the Super Bowl again, man. Now, this is a topic of conversation. This isn't necessarily football, but this is a topic of conversation. There's been some bickering back and forth between a bunch of different people on this. What would you rate overall the Super Bowl halftime show? And people, feel free to drop in the comments what you would rate it out of 10. What would you give the Kendrick Lamar performance?
I'm going to give it a I'll give it an 8. Like I like the pettiness. You feel me?
Yes.
I
Yes.
like the wearing the A minor chain. People probably ain't noticed that, but he had the A chain on. It's funny because my wife was like, "What's that A stand for?" And I didn't even know, to be real. I'm like, damn, I don't
Yeah.
even know why the fuck you wearing that A. And then it's like, yeah, I mean, it's for the A minor. It's a lowercase a, like that motherfucking A. Yeah, I mean, I give it an 8. I don't think I think it started to warm up after SZA got off. That's when it like kind of warmed up a little bit. Leading up into SZA, I think the shit was low key weak. You feel me?
Yeah.
Again, I'm team Drake. You feel me? Like I'm definitely team Drake when
That's
it comes
right.
to like
That's right.
artists,
Oh,
right?
boy.
I know my
Yeah.
boy, my Cali boy over there. You feel me? It's only right. But see, I'm from
Fuck
the
Drake.
East Coast. So like I'm just going Drake only because I think his music is more impactful to me. You feel me? Like where I'm from, we don't listen to Kendrick Lamar, bro. Like it's just
Yeah.
not it. You feel me? So we're more on like the Future, the Atlanta wave. So when Drake comes down and does
Yeah.
mixtapes with 21 Savage and shit, we on that. You know what I mean? We on all that. So
Yeah,
I'm
you like him because he bit Atlanta style.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like he versatile, man.
That boy's from Canada.
Nah, but
He ain't an East Coast
shout
rapper.
out Kendrick though. You know what I mean? I really don't have no dog in this fight, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I think I think he did good enough. You know what I mean? Like I think he did really good. He represented the culture right, you know, especially the LA culture. I think, you know, LA definitely deserves to have that superstar really come out, and Kendrick is one of them ones from the
Yeah.
West Coast. So I think it was good, man. I know people were kind of mad that Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys didn't get the opportunity, but I don't think you could get much better than Kendrick. The year he had, I mean, it made sense.
I don't want to hear anybody dropping, "Oh, it should have been Lil Wayne. It was him."
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to hear Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I may be biased because I think Lil Wayne is the most overrated rapper of all time. And y'all can kill me all you want for that. But he
Lil
would
Wayne's
not
just
have been entertaining at that Super Bowl. If you've seen Lil Wayne's concerts, anything recently, it would not have been entertaining. You would
damn,
be like,
you shitting on Wayne right now. That's fucked up.
As soon as he started to sing "How to Love," I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing
Nah,
it.
but he bounced back after that though. Like that was all some radio shit, man. You gotta really, you know.
Lil Wayne, he can get the fuck out of here. He's never gonna perform at a Super Bowl. Yeah. But if I were to rate it, I would look, and I'm a Kendrick guy. I am. I would give it a 7 out of 10 as the overall like performance of it. I was like, man, it's cool. Like usually for the Super Bowl, you're looking for something real extravagant, something flashy, like, oh damn, or he brought out some special person. His special guest, I think, was Samuel Jackson. And they made it seem like it was gonna be fucking
and Serena
Taylor
Williams.
Swift that's about to come out.
He did Serena Williams too, because Drake used to date Serena. But he was very petty. He was very petty.
So this is where I loved it. And it wasn't necessarily the pettiness of it. And a lot of people that were like, I don't get it. This was the worst Super Bowl halftime show of all time. Those are the people that never understood the context behind what was going on for the Super Bowl performance. Like this was a public murder of a man on the biggest stage in all of entertainment.
Facts.
And for him to go out there and he didn't say the word, but for him to go out there and have the entire stadium,
say A minor,
entire America, everybody at their home, and you know they were doing it, call this man a P-file, and then have A minor. Everybody was singing that shit. There's no coming back from that.
There is no.
So that's where it makes it great for me. Because when it comes back to like the culture, the rap culture, this is like, I don't think there's anything that tops this in rap culture and battle culture to where you can look back and be like, like Hit 'Em Up will be the closest for me with Pac. When he dropped Hit 'Em Up, and we're getting into music and stuff now.
No, but that's cool. That I like it though, you know.
So like the closest thing to somebody getting killed off the way Kendrick killed off Drake on that type of stage. And it's not close. It's probably Hit 'Em Up from Pac. Like I can't think of another diss track or moment to where you're like, oh my God, like this dude, like you took somebody that was at the top of the game and brought him all the way down. Like, people have lost respect for this man, Drake, everything that's come out. And then on top of that, you have this man's ex-girlfriend crip walking at the Super Bowl to your diss track.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what made it great for me.
Yeah.
The overall performance, and if you didn't know the context behind it, it was like, it's okay. Even if you liked Kendrick's music, I feel like it'd be like, oh, it was cool, because he didn't do Mad City, he didn't do backseat freestyle. Like, he didn't do a lot of his great throwback songs where like real Kendrick fans will be like, oh man, he did that song. He opened up with Mad City. This shit was hard. He didn't give us those type of moments in his performance. It was strictly just all his newer shit. And then he finished with the 2 Drake disses, which was dope for the culture of hip hop.
Right.
But as an overall performance, I was like, it's cool. It's cool. It's nothing I'm going to go back and be like, that was the greatest Super Bowl halftime ever. Nah. I liked his performance more when they did the LA Super Bowl halftime show with Dr. Dre, when he came in and did like his little guest spot. I like that performance more than I like the overall performance of this one. So I would say 7 out of 10. I would say 7 out of 10.
I mean, I like what Kendrick did just based off of, because I'm gonna tell you, if the shoe was on the other foot and they would have let Drake, he was gonna be petty, bro. If they would have let Drake perform at the Super Bowl, bro, he was gonna be petty, bro. He probably would have tried to been bringing that man kids out on stage and shit. I'm telling you, dog, like, he would have been trying to pull strings. You hear me? So like, he got what he deserved. I mean, I love a good hip hop battle like that. I think, just me being an East Coast boy, man, like we gravitate more towards the Drakes, like I said, for those reasons. Like we're not really big on West Coast other than Tupac and shit, because he's a legend. But like just the West Coast funk, like I mean, I love all music and I can get down with it. We just don't ride around bumping the shit where I'm from and shit like that. We just not really big on it. So we look at artists like Kendrick, like, it's like, he's a lyricist. It's cool. You feel me? But we rather bump. Like where I'm from, bro, we're more on like Boosie and Lil Webby,
I love
UGK. Those are the people that really raised up. That's our generation. You feel me? Like that's what we are.
I'll tell you this: Boosie would have killed the halftime show 10 times better than Lil Wayne.
Lil Boosie would have went stupid. You hear me?
Boosie would have went crazy at the halftime.
But Boosie got to do all his old shit, but all his old shit too gangster for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be able to do that shit. You feel me? Like he wouldn't be able to do his old shit, because his new shit, it's like, I mean, it's still Boosie. You get respect, but like, nah, we doing Cross the Tracks, Youngest at the Camp. I mean, you start getting into, see, that's why I would have loved to see, you know what I mean? My boy Mont in the building, he from where I'm from. Like, he from right around the corner. So he'll tell you, man, we don't really bump Kendrick like that, man. We on some other shit. But I will say this. I think, you don't agree with the Lil Wayne thing, though, but I think if they were able to do like a Hot Boy reunion and really do like they good music, bro, like they shit that was hitting.
He couldn't be the main performer.
No, it would have had to be like a reunion. It would have had to been a reunion. They would have had to bring Manny Fresh, Birdman. It would have had to be everybody. BG home. Like they would have had to come together. Juvie. That shit would have been, I'm going to tell you, that shit would have been a sight to see, bro. I ain't going to lie. Yeah. But nothing to take away from Kendrick, man. Kendrick deserved it, man. You know what I mean? He did his thing. I still think Family Matters was a better song. That's just me, man. I think he murdered him on that shit.
And then we'll kind of ask the next question about the Super Bowl shit. But I think this was the first time for a Super Bowl halftime show to have an artist when they were in the middle of being at the top of their game. Because most of the time, Super Bowl performances, it's always older artists or guys that aren't necessarily, at the peak of their game or the peak of their career. This is the peak of Kendrick's career, and he performed at the Super Bowl. So this may be the first time that kind of happened. I'm probably forgetting about Super Bowl halftime shows that were 20, 30 years ago, but this may be the first time in a long time that we got somebody at the top of their, the peak of their career. But I'll ask you this. Who do you want to see in next year's Super Bowl halftime show? It's in San Francisco.
Man, we ain't doing no E40 or none of that bullshit. We sick of it. Hey, listen, we give y'all West Coast. Hey, look, we giving y'all shine now. We gonna have to get some East Coast brothers up in there somewhere, or some down
They're,
south
they're not doing.
motherfuckers.
They're not gonna do it East Coast.
Yeah,
in
I
San
want I ain't want no E40 or no Too Short. You feel me? Like I ain't trying to go
Too
for
short.
that shit. You know what I mean? Like straight up, man. Like, man, I'll say this: San Fran. If I had to pick an artist like that, that I truly think would be good, and they have to be like obviously a certain stature of artists too, because there's a ton of artists that I would love to see, but they're just not on that level. You know what I mean? But I would say
I'll say
man.
who you want to see and who would be your prediction.
My prediction, I think it's going to, I think it, first of all, I think it's going to be a pop artist next year.
Yep.
I think they're going to switch it up. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do 2 hip hop artists like back to back. At least I don't think they have. It's either going to be a pop artist or an R&B artist. That's a fact. And shit, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a country artist. You know what I mean? But I'll say, I think the next one, if I'm gonna predict, right, that's a good question, bro. Like, I'm trying to think of who's like really. I think it could be somebody like Bad Bunny. I think like
you know what? That would be
I can
fire.
see them.
Bad Bunny would kill it.
I can see Bad Bunny. You know, he's a mega star. You feel me? Like killing it, mega star. I can definitely see him doing it. I like Jelly Roll, but I don't think Jelly Roll. I mean, he's huge. Jelly Roll's huge, but I don't think he's big enough quite yet to
not yet.
He would have to have a good year. I'll say this: if Jelly Roll releases like an album this year and it turns out, because he definitely has a bunch of hits. I've met Jelly Roll in person, anyways, man. I did a show with Jelly Roll back in the day. Something y'all don't know, down in Charleston at the Music Farm. So I like Jelly Roll. I've actually sat in the green room with him and smoked some weed with him and all that. But I just don't think he's that big yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's big enough for the Super Bowl at least. But I'll say Bad Bunny, man. That's my prediction. Yeah. That's what I think is going to perform next year.
I think Bad Bunny would kill it, and I don't even know a lot of his songs.
Me neither. I don't know one of his songs.
From what I've heard, is that he's just like a great live performer,
megastar. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be mad at that, and I would say if I were to predict one, I would say Neo. I'm gonna go Neo.
Okay, Neo.
Neo's got a lot of. Obviously, he's an R&B artist, but he's got a lot of pop hits.
Is he from the Bay?
No, he's not from the Bay. I'm not sure where he's from. He's not from the Bay Area though.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna be like a Bay Area like artist.
Yeah, like West Coast.
Because most, from what I kind of remember, most of the Bay Area artists that I know are all, like rap dudes. You know, E40, Too Short. I mean, Mac Dre's passed away, but like those dudes, they're not Super Bowl performers that they're gonna go.
I'm with Yogi. I don't think no one cares about Neo though. I don't think Neo's name pulling enough weight.
But we could say the same thing about a lot of Super Bowl performers though in the past. Did anybody care about Maroon 5 when they performed?
Bro, Maroon 5, hell yeah, they've been huge, bro.
When they performed, dog, they weren't even dropping albums at the time.
Yeah, but they were huge though. Like you can't compare Maroon 5 to Neo.
It was their singer, Adam
Levine. You like him compared to Neo, bro? That's a different category, bro. Like
Neo got better hits, though. I'm gonna tell you.
No, I agree with you. No, Neo's music is way better. I'm just saying, like, if you're thinking about it as like, the biggest stage, pretty much, like in a way. I don't know if Neo's name, unless he drops some new shit this year and kind of turns up. I mean, that's like saying, can we see T-Pain?
Does T-Pain have enough hits though?
T-Pain would be a great performer though. Like the songs, bro. Like I'm Sprung and shit, and the club songs. If he brings Lil Jon out and shit, I think that shit would be lit. I ain't gonna lie. I'll fuck with T-Pain.
I can see that. Well, Snoop Dogg kind of performed with Dre a couple years ago. Yeah. It might be a West Coast cat. I don't think they'll do 2 West Coasts. If they do, dog, West Coast is running shit. If we do,
who else in the West Coast other than who else in the West Coast kind of new after? Yeah, now that Kendrick done did his thing, like
it would have Snoop would be the biggest.
Yeah,
if they got Snoop to perform, Snoop would be the biggest. But I'm saying he kind of already had like
Chris
his
Brown. TP got a good Chris Brown.
Chris Brown would be fire. I think
you got to remember too, like Jay-Z's behind a lot of this too. So like they have a big influence on kind of who's gonna get the shine too. So
Chris Brown's a good. I like Chris Brown.
I could see Chris Brown. He's big
And
enough.
I think he put on a hell of a show too.
He would too. It would be crazy. He would probably like be dropping from the sky or some bullshit, like come down in a helicopter or some shit, like for sure. Chris Brown.
Yeah, no, I can see that. And then he has some rap. You know, he
He
can
said Bow Wow.
Oh,
Hell
God,
nah,
Bow
boy.
Wow.
Bow Wow has that's a rap. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. Ice Cube and Bow Wow.
Okay, it's gonna be Glorilla, Mark said.
Glorilla.
I can see like a Teddy Swims. I can see a Teddy Swims do something like that, but I don't think he has enough hits yet.
Yeah, it definitely gotta be usually it's an artist that's already like made their mark, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
So we'll see, man. I think hopefully it's a good I'm all the way cool if it's like a rock performer to kind of give us a little break in between like the R&B and rap. I love R&B and hip hop.
Because Usher did last year, right? It was Usher
Usher did last year.
Which Usher killed it, you know.
The year before that was The Weeknd.
Jello Ball.
Oh, right. Performing that tweaker.
Yo, like for that song to be like so old school vibes, bro, to go crazy like that. Like what?
So that old that Lil Wayne hopped on for a remix.
Like, I'm sorry, man. I think that's why it's going viral, because it's so like surprising that this shit is actually like he actually was dead ass serious. Like, that's why it's not going viral, because the song is actually good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it. So outside of that, and this is kind of just like prop questions here. What was your favorite commercial from last night's Super? Was there one commercial that stuck out? I was like, that shit was hilarious. Or there's a couple with Justin Jefferson in it. Like, which one kind of stood out to you?
I'm trying to think which one was. I don't know, man. I can't remember them. Only one I remember is the seal one, the Bahama.
Yeah, the seal commercial.
Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, Skull Mafia. Yeah, that's the only one I actually remember. So maybe that one, you know what I mean? Because I remember that one. Like, to be honest with you, man, I was so zoned out of that Super Bowl, bro. Like, I wasn't even watching the fucking commercials. After the first quarter, damn near, I stopped watching the game low key a little bit. You know what I mean? Just because I'm like, yo, this shit is ridiculous. Like, you know, I had to go back and kind of rewatch it a little bit today. Like, just go watch a little bit of it, just because I'm like, I started giving up. You know what I mean? I wanted the Chiefs to win, so I was just like, yo, this shit isn't even a game. 24-0. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this?
But I was holding out hope Mahomes was gonna have like his Brady comeback moment in the Super Bowl, and it just wasn't happening.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't happening.
Absolutely not.
Hey, everybody, we can cut that GOAT talk. We can cut that greatest of all time. I'm
gonna have to push back on you with that, though. You said that shit backstage, and I let you slide. I don't know if I could do that.
I know I can. You cannot perform in the Super Bowl the way you performed in the Super Bowl and be considered the greatest of all time,
bro. Well, but you got to think though. His book isn't done being written, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, because who's to say he doesn't go on a run and win 3 more in a row now? You know what I mean?
Tom Brady lost 3 Super Bowls by combined point differential of 15 points. Mahomes has lost 2 Super Bowls, I think, with a combined differential is like 40 points.
Yeah, because it was it was 31-9, I think, was the Bucks one.
31-9, and then 40-22.
So that's 18 points, and then
So look, if you go out there and then you all of a sudden run a 3-peat, then you can get, you're back in the conversation. But I can't put him over Montana now. I can't. Like, I know it's the day after.
Put him over Montana?
I'm not gonna be able to get past what I saw from Mahomes. This game, the reason why the Chiefs lost this game was not because Jalen Hurts went off, Saquon Barkley didn't run for 150 yards. This was on Mahomes. This was
I don't know if I can agree with you on that, bro. I think this game was on their offensive line. Just, I think it was a mixture of their offensive line not being good.
It has something to do with it.
And I think it was a mixture of them committing so much to the run on defense to where they did that, right? They stopped the Eagles' run game. I think Saquon Barkley only had like 2 point something yards of carry. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think they committed to the run so much to where they left open the wide receivers, man. That's why they were able to just kind of bombs away. I think it was
Yeah.
a mixture of those two. I don't know if I can just blame Mahomes for all that for that, bro. Like, I don't know. That's tough.
The two really bad interceptions. One was a pick six. You have a fumble. Like
Yeah,
it
he
was.
did have a
That's
bad
probably
game.
the worst I've ever seen Mahomes play,
He did have
and
a
it
bad
came
game.
at the biggest stage, and that's hard to
Yeah,
get out of people's heads.
it is.
He's gonna have to do some making up for him to re-enter that GOAT conversation.
He's still the
Um,
best in the league, though, right now.
still the best in the league. I
Yeah,
will give him that. But that was a bad look for Mahomes. That was a really bad look.
that was a bad look.
Brady and Montana would never, ever have a game Mahomes had in the Super Bowl. Never.
Yeah,
They wouldn't allow it to happen. They've had bad quarters. Brady's had bad halves, but they
yeah,
always find a way to win. And they always find a way to win with lesser talent.
yeah.
Brady didn't always have the better team in the Super Bowl. Montana,
Mhm.
you may be able to argue that, but Brady never had the better team in the Super Bowl, the better roster, the better
Yeah.
weapons all the time. Hell, the one time he did have better weapons and a better roster, they lost to the Giants.
Mhm.
So I could never see Brady performing that bad in the Super Bowl, and I could never see Joe Montana performing that bad in the Super Bowl. And
Let me ask y'all a serious question though. Was there, if you think about the Super Bowl era back then, right? Even with Tom Brady, even somewhat with Tom Brady, right? And you think about now, like the past, we'll say 8-9 years. Do you think like because think about the quarterback play in today's league and in the past 9 years leading up into today? Was it the same though when Montana? See, because this is the thing. When Montana then played, you name there's like three quarterbacks in the whole NFL that you're saying, okay, these guys are him, right? To where in 2025, you're like, bro, you got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the people can put Hurts in there if they want. You know what I'm saying? People put Prescott in there. I mean, I just think like now the league. I wouldn't put Prescott in there, but you do have people that think Prescott could because he throws for 5,000 yards. They feel like you know what I'm saying. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm just throwing the names out there. Like, there's a lot. I just say that to say now you got your new quarterbacks and the Jaden Daniels and shit, and it's just like the walls you have to go through nowadays when talking about playing the opposing quarterback and having to outduel them. I think it is a lot tougher task, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like to get there.
The talent level is obviously greater than what it was back then. That's in any sport. You can look at basketball, and I know, and I'm a guy where I level Jordan as the number one player of all time. But that, to me, that doesn't mean that the talent level was the same back then. The talent level was far less when Jordan was playing than what it is now. You guys can argue with a wall. The talent level is far higher than what it was back then in basketball and in football. But the difference when it comes to football, and it comes down to one game, and it's not necessarily a series, because when it's a series over time, you can lose a game or two, and then your best player is going to step up and they're going to show why they're the best player in the league, why they're great. When it comes to football, there is no room for screwing up, especially in the Super Bowl. So you have one game to be the best player in the league. And Joe Montana proved that in his era, proved that in the Super Bowl, 4-0 in the Super Bowl, never lost a Super Bowl. Tom Brady did that, proved that in the Super Bowl 7 out of 10 times. And let's not forget the 3 times that he did lose. One of them was a shootout to Philadelphia in 2018. The other one, the other 2 were against the Giants, to where he had an 18-1 season. Should have probably went undefeated, but didn't. And then the other year, the Giants just had a great defensive line, and they had great interior pressure, which we all know that was Brady's weakness. Trenches. But I think that's the difference. Football is obviously you got to have the talent to be considered an elite or one of the greatest players of all time. But I think it falls more on like your motivation, your drive, your mental in football, because it's a one and done. There is no, oh, we dropped game 1. Let's pick up the pieces. Let's make our adjustments and let's go out there and get game 2. There is none of that in football. You got to figure it out mid-game. And that's what the greats do. And I think that's what separates football and basketball when it comes to comparing eras and the talent of different eras. It's a lot more mental in football, and it's a lot faster and quicker to where you got to make these adjustments quick. There is no taking a day off and having a practice and coaching it up and going out there for game 2. So Brady 1, Montana 2. Mahomes, he's my top 3, top 5 right now, but he's got some work to do if he wants to be in the conversation.
Bro. Don't do that, man. Top 5.
Hey, man, you putting him over Peyton Manning?
Bro, but you got to think. I am. I actually am putting him over Peyton Manning. You got to think about this. Like, Mahomes been in the league. When he get drafted, 2017? Was it 2017 he got drafted, I think? I think it was 2017. So. Or was it 2016? It was one of them.
It might have been 2016.
But like, bro, this man damn near first of all, this man's been to the AFC Championship game. I feel like has it been every year since he's been a starter damn near? Like they've been to the AFC Championship game the last
every year.
6-7 years. Yeah. So like, bro, that in his damn self, like, you know what I mean? That's crazy, bro. And then to have 4, he already has 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And he's not even 30 years old yet. He's still in his 20s.
He's got 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah, 3. Oh, 3. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he's 3-2. He's 3-2.
And he's not even 30 yet. That's crazy.
We also got to take into consideration he has one of the greatest offensive-minded head coaches of all time.
He do, but Tom Brady had that too.
But Belichick was a defensive guy.
I'm saying it was still a great coach. Either way, yeah, you're right. But great coach though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I give you that. But I don't know, man.
Because you got to think, Brady didn't win his first Super Bowl till he was what, 30? Like 30 what?
Who you said, Brady?
Or yeah, he didn't win his first Super Bowl till he was like mid-30s almost, I believe, right?
No,
or
Brady
30. He was like 30, wasn't he?
No, Brady won the Super Bowl, I think, his 2nd year in the league.
What?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought he didn't win his first Super Bowl till he was like 30.
No, it might have been. No, it wasn't his rookie year. It had to be his 2nd year because remember, Drew Bledsoe got hurt. Tom Brady stepped in and ended up winning him a Super Bowl. And then the rest is history. So no, Brady won it when he was young. He's just the longevity of his career was ridiculous. He played 20 plus seasons. But I mean, it may be a little bit of recency bias, but that performance from Mahomes is going to be etched in my brain for a long time. He's got to have a performance.
Oh, he was 24. Yeah, he was only 24.
He's got to have a performance or two in the Super Bowl for me to be like, you know what, that was just kind of a conundrum. That was just a random game. He had a bad game. It is what it is. But it was bad. It was really bad.
That shit was bad. It
was bad, dog. It was bad, dog. But now that kicks off the offseason, man, things are going to really start getting cracking for the Minnesota Vikings and the NFL. We have free agency coming up in, I think, exactly a month, right? March 10th, March 11th is usually when free agency starts.
Which I'm excited
that's going to get off. Yeah. Free agency, that's when we're really about to crack. That's when we're really about to see this team kind of come in and mold into the 2025 season. We're going to be having JJ McCarthy content, OTAs. You got mini camp coming up for him, spring practices, all that type of stuff. And then you got the draft in April. So there's going to be a whole lot to talk about. We are going to be here. We're doing every other week right now. We might switch back to every week, maybe closer to the draft for a month or so. Just because we know there's going to be a whole lot of content to talk about at that time. But as for now, we're still every other Monday, and we got a lot to talk about with this free agency too. We might crank it up for free agency again too. I think that might be a good time.
I think we should definitely do videos for free agency, especially when that window open. You know, that's one of the for football fans in general, but especially like content creators that do content about their team, like the draft and then free agency window open, bro. You literally gotta stay by your phone and your microphone because like you gonna be I done got to the point where I said, fuck it, I'm just doing one video and talking about all 5 players we signed today. You feel me? Because you just can't
Yeah,
keep up. Like, you
yeah.
just can't keep up. Like,
Until we start getting paid for this shit and
yeah,
making a
like,
career
bro,
out of
I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna wait till the night because I know it's gonna be about 3 more signings. I'm gonna just do one video talking about all they ass. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like straight up. But man, no, it's a fun time though. Like it's one of those times where, and not even just for creators, but just fans in general, like just seeing what teams are doing because the shit always gets spicy. You know what I mean? That's one thing I love and respect about the NFL is even when the season is over, they always give us some shit to talk about, man. You know what I mean? Like the NFL has did really good on like stretching that off season out when because they're very strategic on how they pick what day is going to be the free agent window, what day is going to be the
Mhm.
draft. Like then right after the draft, you get right into there's only like maybe 3 weeks where it's really a dead zone and it's in June. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? After that, it's over with, boy. It's crank.
Yeah, and when that schedule releases in May, we already got stuff in motion for Skullfest. So everybody
Yeah.
that plans on coming out, if you don't have plans on coming out, make it happen, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss Skullfest. It's every home opener weekend, the night before the home opener. We get it cracking. It's only getting
Yeah.
bigger every year. So we already
Right.
got things in motion for that. I'm actually flying out to Minnesota. In a month from no, a little over a month. I'll be out in Minnesota. I'll be making my a couple little meetings with some bar owners and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're putting things together early for Skullfest. That's gonna be fun. We got a lot of things in motion coming up this season, and we got a lot to talk about too. But
Yeah.
real quick too, shout out Jared Allen for finally making the Pro
Shout out
Football
Jared
Hall of
Allen, man.
Fame, man.
Yeah.
Well deserved. That's gonna be fun. I'm debating about trying to go to the Hall of Fame this year, and because there might be a chance that the Vikings play the Hall of Fame game, which would be
Yeah.
cool. So you'll be seeing a lot of JJ McCarthy. You'll be seeing a lot of our young guys get some action there. So yeah, man, shout out Jared Allen, man. Well deserved. Put his name in the rafters, make the
Yeah.
bust. Over 100 sacks in his career. Like just an amazing dude, amazing character.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see his Hall of Fame speech if he rides in on a horse or whatever the hell weird shit he
I could
does.
see him doing
Man, I
that.
love Jared Allen. He made me
Me too.
excited to watch the Vikings defense out there.
Yeah.
Yes, we had Adrian Peterson and we were ready to watch him, run his ass off. But Jared Allen was the guy that made me excited to see that defense go out there and get
Yeah.
after the quarterback. So that was
Yeah.
one of my all-time greats, Jared Allen. Well deserved, man. I'm
Well
so
deserved, man.
happy to see him.
Shout out, and on top of that, man, shout out KOC, man. We ain't even mentioned that the whole show. So let's
Coach of the
shout out
year.
KOC, Coach of the Year, man. Some people may feel like it wasn't deserved. Some other guy got snubbed. Man, listen. First of all, KOC got snubbed his first year. Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Like the NFL owed him this. And although the season didn't end how we wanted it to end, I mean, look, man, it ended better than a lot of other teams. You feel me? Just ask my boy TP in the building. You know what I mean? Ask me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
no, it's
ask my broski. Ask my broski how his season went. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be a little bit grateful here, man. We got a great coach on our side, man. We got something to look forward to build upon. And that's why he got the extension, rightfully so. And that's why he won Coach of the Year, man. He earned it. You know what I mean? I don't think it was just handed to him. 14 games going into the season with a rookie quarterback that got hurt. You got Sam Darnold, bruh. This man literally got Sam Darnold a payday, man. Sam Darnold owes this man $10 million after he signs his deal, dog. That's a fact.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, buy him a car, so buy him a pickup truck or something, Sammy D. You owe that to that man, bruh. Like for real, man. So shout out KOC, man. I'm excited about that because I'm a KOC guy. So nothing made me happier than to see him win that award, man, for sure.
Yeah, well deserved, most definitely. So two greats getting awarded for their, great play and great coaching. So well deserved from both of those guys. Last question of the night, and this is a topic of conversation, regardless of whether we hate it or not, or whether you believe it's going to happen or not. Aaron Rodgers, I had to throw it out there, Rap. Is it even a question to sign Aaron Rodgers?
No, bruh. Like, listen, that will be my break. That'll be my tipping point if we bring Aaron Rodgers here, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, dog, like this is my thing with this off season is I don't even want to talk. Why are we even talking? I'm not, this isn't for you, SK, but I'm just saying, like, in general, as like a fan base, why are we even talking about quarterback, bro? We have our quarterback. What are people like? What is making it so hard for our fan base to understand that? I don't get it, bro. Like, why do we always want somebody else trash, man? Fuck no. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Never did. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the Brett Favre shit that he came in the same story. That shit cute. I'm trying to win. You feel me? I'm not trying to look cool out here and just be able to tweet about some shit that seems fun and interesting. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, he did the same shit Brett Favre. Fuck that. Go play for somebody else. We got number 9. We are starting our journey now, man. We need number 9 to be out there, man, and balling up, man. Fuck that. Aaron, I don't want my quarter. First of all, I don't want his attitude rubbing off on number 9. You feel me? Like, facts.
I agree.
So,
it just throws a wrench in the whole plan.
It does.
The whole plan. Even if he came in at a cheap rate, he's already got paid. He's the highest paid quarterback of all time when it comes to dollars. But it throws a wrench in your whole plan. You're setting JJ McCarthy back another year. No, I'm all the way out on Aaron Rodgers. I don't even want to entertain it. I don't think we're going to entertain it anyways. I think KOC and Kwesi are smart enough to understand. Don't go out there and do that. If you were to go out there and sign any other quarterback, you go and you re-sign Sam Darnold, which I don't think we should do.
No,
but I'm saying if it came down to where, hey, re-sign Sam Darnold.
You signed Daniel Jones. Shout out TP again. TP, this is you just, you know, man, I'm glad my dog is in the show tonight, man. Sign Daniel Jones. That's the only quarterback you should be signing.
So many giant freaking
that's the only quarterback you should be signing. Only quarterback that should be putting pen to the paper this offseason for the Vikings is Daniel effing Jones, bro. I'm cool with that. You feel me? Like Daniel Jones as a backup?
As a backup.
All day, bro. All day. Because I have faith that Kevin O'Connell, if I just seen what Kevin O'Connell can do with a Sam Darnold, bruh, I'm straight. I think he can make Daniel Jones at least a mid quarterback. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I do. I believe he can.
Look, if we do sign Daniel Jones, they have to make it abundantly clear. Daniel Jones is going to be JJ McCarthy's backup. This is JJ McCarthy's job. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There is no quarterback competition. This is JJ McCarthy's team. I don't want to hear Daniel Jones has a chance to start. Because if that's the case, Doug, look, we could say all we want about how we felt when we first signed Sam Darnold. But at the end of the day, we knew Sam could at least sling it. He just made really bad decisions most of the time. Yeah. Daniel Jones don't even got that. Daniel Jones is, he can run the ball too. But Daniel Jones ain't out there slinging it unless it's against an Ed Donatel defense. And the last time I checked, Ed Donatel ain't even coaching no more. So it has to be as a backup. I don't want to hear nothing about a quarterback competition.
Listen, the only line I'm pushing is JJ McCarthy, bro. We're not discussing any other quarter. We made this clear going into this offseason. The Vikings shouldn't even be talking quarterbacks, bro. We should be talking defensive tackles, guards, cornerback, everything else except for a fucking quarterback. We have our quarterback, man. You feel me? You just have to accept it, Vikings fans. It is what it is. We have them until we don't have them. That's just what it is. We have them until we don't have them. I think it's clear based off of the vibes we're getting, the news we're getting, the interviews you're seeing, even with Justin Jefferson. You know, Papa tripped me out, man. Like, you know, Papa's trying to dig deep to find the faith and bro, if I was to record some of the conversations me and Purple Papa have, man, y'all to be like, man, yo, you know, and I'm gonna let him defend himself on Friday. We back to regular schedule, man. I took this week off, y'all. Too. Let me just address this really quick, SK, if you don't mind. I took this weekend off, like Friday and Saturday, going live, and the reason was because I just noticed YouTube wasn't gonna push anything that didn't have to do with the Super Bowl. So it was just a business decision, and at the same time, I just took a mental break and just relaxed. You feel me? Still was active on the looking at everybody's tweets and looking at y'all support, and I appreciate that. But that's the only reason why I didn't go live again this weekend, because it was all about the Super Bowl, and YouTube bought into that, rightfully so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a business at the end of the day. So, but again, man, JJ McCarthy is the quarterback. Sam Darnold, like, we had a good season, brother. It was fun. It was fun. You're not the plan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not the plan, man. You're not the man with the plan either.
No harm, no
got
foul. Go get your money.
Go get your bread, bro. You earned it.
Go get your
You know what I
money.
mean?
We appreciate your services, Sam. We appreciate your service.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
fun.
Papa thinks, you know, speaking on Norris real quick, man, Papa thinks that JJ McCarthy's knee is fucking amputated. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to see the proof that he's walking, and he thinks that, you know, there's no hope there, man. JJ's hurt for life and career ending. I mean, look, man, these fans, man, we got to just come to grips, man. We have us a winner, man. You know what I mean? I know we don't really know what that looks like or feels like.
We're not used to it.
Not used to it. But you better start getting used to it. You feel me? Because number 9 about to bring that to the city, man. And I can't wait. I'm here for the damn ride. You hear me?
Yes, sir. So, again, man, we appreciate you guys for tapping in with us tonight. We went a little over time, but it's all good. It's all good. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we'll be at full strength. Randy back. I'm sure his ear infection will be better by then. But again, thank you guys for sticking with us throughout the entire season, man. We greatly appreciate the support. We grew this channel from obviously 0 followers all the way up to, I think we're up to 700 subscribers now, just in one season. And, you know, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that a lot. You guys got us monetized. You guys got us going, man. So we appreciate all the support you guys give to us, man. Be on the lookout, obviously, for all the events we have coming up for the season, whether it be Skull Fest, whether it be, you know, obviously our shows, our personal shows. I'm going to start kicking off Purple and Skull Media again. I took a year off from it, but I'm back. And then obviously Vocal Vike and then Realistic Randy as well. So be sure to tap in with us. Again, we will be back in 2 weeks from now. And hopefully we got some stuff to talk about. And we got some free agency to talk about, which we'll be halfway there. So thank you guys for tapping in tonight. Until next time, it is your boy SK. I'm here with Rap. This is Purple Parlor. Peace. Go Vikes.
I say, I say,